Welcome to the first edition of Art and Media. This international magazine contains contributions from NGOs in Germany, Poland, Bulgaria, Denmark, UK and Jordan. The project Art and Media Ways Out of Poverty is supported by the European Commission's Programme for Culture. The NGOs are conducting workshops for youngsters where they improve their media competences and learn about themselves, their surroundings and about media, of course.
Hello and welcome to the final event of Art and Media Ways Out of Poverty. This project started in November 2009 and will finish in October 2011. My name is Arndt Selders. I'm working for the Arbeitskreis Ostviertel and I'm the superintendent of the department of OWTV and of International. But with me on stage, I'm of course not by myself. I have some guests which I would like to introduce to you. Ladies first, to my left side, I have Magda Knüpp. She's a media trainer and a project coordinator for the European Meeting Center Nowy Staw Foundation in Lublin, Poland. Maybe a short applause.
Hello.
And on my right-hand side, there's Colm O'Rourke. He's a volunteer and film producer for Chaos Media, a young people's community media group managed by Inclusive Arts in New York, England. And right beside me to the right, I have Mohammed Al-Kak, who is the art director for Tatawar Association in Amman, Jordan. Good evening, everyone. And to the left, a guy many of you know, it's Benedikt Althoff. He's the managing director of the European Youth for Media Networks and also a project coordinator who was involved in this art and media project. Unfortunately, two partners couldn't make it to this final broadcast, but of course I want to mention them. On the one hand, it's the International Management Institute in Dobrich, Bulgaria. Maybe applause for them if in case they're watching. And also an applause for the Samson Kulturhus in Kristiansand, Norway, who are also part of this project. Now, before we start talking about the project, we would first like to show you a short project documentation about Art and Media Ways Out of Poverty. It's in German, but with English subtitles, and it's directly followed by a movie called S.T.E.P, which was produced by a mixed group of youngsters from Ukraine, Germany, and Poland. And by discussing about poverty, its faces and harms, they created a concept, plus filmed and edited this movie within 1 week. And it shows an individual who is passive and pessimistic about himself and his future, and the good things of life are passing him by until he gets to realize that. But let's have a look.
Art and Media – Wege aus der Armut. Das ist der Titel des Projektes, das seit Anfang 2010 im Benno-Haus durchgeführt wird. Aber nicht nur in Münster, sondern auch in 6 anderen Städten in Europa. Denn es handelt sich um ein Projekt aus dem Kulturprogramm der Europäischen Kommission. Die beteiligten Partner sind Nichtregierungsorganisationen in Polen Lublin, Bulgarien Dobrich, Norwegen Kristiansand, England York und Jordanien Amman. Diese Organisationen bieten verschiedene Kreativworkshops für Jugendliche an. Dabei lernen diese ihre Ideen zum Thema Wege aus der Armut künstlerisch und medial darzustellen. Internationale Begegnungen fördern den interkulturellen Dialog und die Teilnehmer erweitern ihre sozialen und kulturellen Horizonte. Kamera, Schnitt, Fotografie oder digitale Fotobearbeitung sind überwiegend die Inhalte der Workshops. Das folgende Produkt wurde erst kürzlich in Zusammenarbeit mit jungen Polen und Ukrainern in Lublin erstellt. Bei dieser internationalen Begegnung wurde auch die Wanderausstellung zum ersten Mal durchgeführt. Diese Ausstellung wird im Laufe der restlichen Projektzeit noch mit den besten Ergebnissen der anderen Workshops vervollständigt und in 10 Städten Europas zu sehen sein. Die letzte Ausstellung findet dann hier im Bürgerhaus Bennohaus statt. Schauen Sie vorbei am 22. September 2011.
Now, as we have seen and heard, an exhibition will take place in the Bennohaus, which happened today. But before I ask Magda about the work on the movie S.T.E.P, I would like to ask Benedikt maybe to tell us shortly some basic like milestones of the project, like the aims and which sense the project had in the first place.
We come together in the kick-off meeting in Amman in Jordan. And we agree that we want to empower the digital creativity of young people. And also we thinking about topics, social problems, and we see poverty is worldwide a problem. So we like to be creative to the topic of poverty. And some of us know Joseph Beuys. He is a famous artist, he's dead now. But he said in the 80s, everybody is an artist. Everybody could be an artist. So we give young people, all people, a low jump into becoming creative with digital tools and try to make artwork, try to express yourself, your visions, your ideas, and maybe ways out of poverty.
So Magda, maybe you can explain, even taking into consideration the movie S.T.E.P, how you at the Novi Staff Foundation were involved in this project, Art and Media Ways Out of Poverty, and maybe something more about the media camp where this movie took place and what tasks and allocations took place in Poland, Lublin.
Well, first we try to improve this, our topic, which is poverty. So we think about different kinds of poverty that happens in the world, just not economic one, but also like individual or mental poverty, different. So as you saw just the movie S.T.E.P, it's about the person who is very passive in society, and it's not active. So what he needs to do, he needs to decide about the first step, and after that, he will get some help from somebody else. What we did in Lublin, so I had a lot of workshops, a lot of meetings with the youth people during the project, and we create special culture magazine which we call Taste Your Culture, about the culture events in Lublin. And you also saw some shots from the exhibition which we made, which was the final event of our meeting in April. It was Ukrainian, German and Polish exchange. We made 2 different exhibitions. One was the name 2 Ways, 1 Destination, and we interviewed and make a photo story from the people who came here to our city, to Lublin. One person was from Belarus and the second one was Xavier from France. Also, girls from Poland, they create kind of artistic montage on the wall from the buildings, like a timeline.
So thanks very much. Magda, of course, not only in Poland, Lublin work took place, but also in Germany. And now we're going to see a movie called Street Artists Berlin, which was made during a media camp. And this movie is about street art, which takes place every day in many different facets. Different people with unequal aims present their diversified talents in various ways in the cities, some for fun and some to earn money. Every one of us comes across such people, and maybe sometimes one of us flips a coin into their heads. But did we ever talk to one of them? Well, the media camp group did, and they made a video. And they met in Berlin and started the cameras. And let's see their results.
Berlin is nowadays one of the biggest metropolitan stages for European culture, which enjoys even worldwide reputation. More than 50 theaters, 3 major operas, 7 symphony orchestras, 420 art galleries, and 153 museums offer to more than 3 million Berlin citizens and thousands of tourists the opportunity to come in touch with every kind of art they look for. Even though There are still some artists who don't need a big stage and red curtains to express their talent, and we don't have to buy tickets for their performance. They show their art right there, every day on the street. Near to one of the most impressive buildings, the Berliner Dom is situated the scene of a not that famous artist, Nicu Florin, a Romanian accordion player. Thousands of people are passing him every day. The most of them don't pay attention to his performance, but anyway, he's always there to make people smile and of course to earn some money.
Ce să facem? Am venit probleme pe acasă, dar nu am servici, nu-i nimic, dar asta mai ciupim de acolo. Uite unde să ajung, dacă eu plătesc chiria 100 de euro pe lună, să zic o treabă. Mai mănânci, bilete la ubat, depinde cum faci, 15, 10, 12...
When you come for a first time to visit Berlin, you'll feel the spirit of the Second World War in every single part of the city. Germans realize that their past is part of them, and they try to show this to the world. David and his colleague become a part of that specific German atmosphere. Their dream to become actors brought them to the most famous places in Berlin, the Brandenburger Gate.
Die Idee kam eigentlich da heraus, wir sind eigentlich eine Schauspielschule. Und da hat man sich überlegt, weil das eine private Schauspielschule ist, wofür wir jeden Monat Geld zahlen müssen, haben wir uns überlegt, wie kann man dann nebenbei noch, außer jetzt mit irgendwelchen kleinen Auftritten, wie kann man noch irgendwie ein bisschen Taschengeld verdienen.
Yeah, I'd call it a modern type of art, definitely, yeah. Because it's not something that around when I was younger, shall we say. You know, you didn't see people in the street like the statues and stuff that you do.
Zum einen, klar, logischerweise, jeder will ein bisschen Taschengeld verdienen. Und zum anderen auch stellen wir einen Teil der Alliierten dar. Und die Leute können sich halt gemeinsam mit uns fotografieren. Und wenn sie halt Fragen haben über die Geschichte oder sowas, wissen wir natürlich mittlerweile auch Bescheid und können darüber dann auch Auskunft geben, wie es früher gewesen ist. Zum Teil hat man es auch selber noch erlebt. Ich war zwar ein kleines Kind gewesen, 12 Jahre damals, aber so ein bisschen, einige Erfahrungen hat man auch noch im Kopf, ne? Einige Bilder. Ne?
But not everybody wants to be reminded. David has also negative feedback.
Gibt es auch. Also gerade von älteren Generationen, die dann auch sagen, hey, seid doch froh, dass der ganze Mist vorbei ist. Ich persönlich kann es auch irgendwo verstehen, also ich akzeptiere so eine Meinung, solange es konstruktive Kritik ist. Wenn es nicht einfach nur Beleidigungen sind oder so, dann kann man sich darüber unterhalten und kann auch erklären, warum wir das machen, oder das finde ich dann okay. Aber was ich nicht okay finde, wenn es einfach Beschimpfungen sind. Ne?
Quite entrepreneurial, I think they are actually. They've taken an opportunity and used it, have they not? You know, good. It's good.
Nevertheless, for some artists, street performance is not only a way to earn some pocket money or a temporary job, but a way to get closer to their audience and to promote their art. It is their lifestyle.
Ich bin Andres und das ist Freddy. Wir kommen von verschiedenen Ländern, aus Bolivien und aus Peru. Und wir machen Straßenmusik seit einigen Jahren. Und Deutschland hat uns als zweite Heimat uns angenommen. Und das finde ich sehr schön. Also, dass ihr immer bei den Musikern eure CDs kaufen müssen. Ja, nicht bei anderen Händlern oder so, sondern immer bei den Musikern, bei uns. Ja? Okay, bis nächstes Mal.
But how do street artists look like through the eyes of pedestrians? Do they appreciate this kind of art, or they just don't pay attention to it? And is this real art anyway?
Haben wir heute ein Erlebnis gehabt in der S-Bahn. Einer mit dem Akkordeon hat Mozart gespielt und hat Geld eingesammelt. War eine gute Sache.
Turca. Der hat das sehr schön gemacht und ich habe den Eindruck, dass doch eine ganze Reihe von Fahrgästen sich darüber gefreut haben. Wissen Sie, die haben immer so mit den Füßen gewippt im Takt. Er war wirklich gut. Aber es ist immer noch eine Ausnahmeerscheinung und es hat uns eigentlich Spaß gemacht.
Also wenn die Bläsertruppe hier ist, das verscheucht mir echt die Gäste. Weil hier kommen immer bloß diese Wummertöne an und die spielen immer dasselbe. Eine Truppe geht weg, die nächste kommt und das geht eben so weit von auf den Zünder. Nicht bloß mir, sondern auch vielen Gästen, die haben gesagt, nee, das ist uns zu laut, das ist eine Musik, die wir nicht mögen. Es gibt einige, die kommen, die spielen wirklich gut, die bleiben eine halbe Stunde, sind sie weg, dann ist es erledigt. Aber hier ist fliegender Wechsel, dass man manchmal wirklich abends mit dem Kopf nach Hause geht, als wäre ja so.
Ja. Jetzt, wenn man die Medien beguckt, Michael Hirte ist ja zum Beispiel so ein Beispiel, der erst auf der Straße mit seiner Mundharmonika Musik gemacht hat und dann letztendlich auch berühmt wurde und jetzt die Hallen füllt und Schallplatten bzw. CDs verkauft.
Nico, Florin, David, Andreas and Freddy, these are just a few of the people who every single day go out into the street. You can pass by and not even notice them, but without their charming way to make people smile, the street would not be the same. If you want to come in touch with the magic of the street, you just go out and find them.
So, as we have seen also during a media camp in Germany, movies were made. So, Benedikt, maybe you can sum up what, for example, the organization I work for, the AKO, what was its role in this project, what did we achieve here in Germany, and what did we do?
Yes, AKO Bennohaus was a coordinator. He did the project management, everything. And especially in Münster, we had in the year 2010 and 2011 special training courses for cross-media, for how to make short films, how to be creative with digital tools. About, I would say, 60 young people joined these trainings, and from these trainings there has been arised a lot of practical projects, artwork, film work, short films. It was disseminated via this Uvetiv TV in a cultural magazine, and we pick up all the good products and compiled them, and they are now in the magazines, in TV magazine, cultural art magazines. And so the AKO and the young people have been really active. And also the topic with poverty is still actual. So it was a good pilot project, and I think it's a good way to continue with projects like these.
Maybe you could also say something about the training methods we use and we accomplished together with the European Youth for Media Networks and other partners. If I tell you, like EU Trainer for ICT and New Media, how did we use this to accomplish, for example, media trainings in the project partner cities?
Okay, to have such tools like we have e-learning tool, and we have just a tool how to use a camera, how to be creative with editing systems, how to work with Photoshop, how to work with pictures. We have such tools, and our partners also from Tatavor, Jordan, and all the others have similar tools, and we compile our tools and try to improve them. And so we optimize our training tools, and for the next project we have better tools. And right now there is a lot of stuff to learn, and to train, and a lot of feedback what people needing to develop their films, their short films, their art product, a lot of talking about their products. Okay.
Thanks, Benedict. Before I come to my guests on the right, maybe one more question to Magda. I assume you were part of the Street Artists Berlin media camp where that film was made. Maybe you can say very short something about the accomplishing of this movie.
Well, it was very interesting to meet these people which were everywhere in the public space, different kinds of artists, like musicians and painters, and also some of them, you can like it or not, of course, there is a different kind of motivation why they are doing it. Sometimes they become more like a tourist attraction, like we saw in Berlin, but of course there's a lot of people who doesn't need big stages and hundreds of people. As the viewers, they enjoy themselves and they like to meet new people on the streets, and this is like point to be artists also for them.
Thanks. And since, of course, our target group are 16 to 25-year-old youths, of course, they're not only in West Europe, but in Eastern Europe and in Asia. And of course, we also had a project partner in Amman. And from there, we're now going to see a movie called I Wish. It shows interviews with Jordanian pedestrians in Amman. And regarding the hard times in their country and what they're going through, most of their wishes seem to be decent. But let's have a look.
أنا نفسي أحكي عن الواحد لازم يشاركها مع الناس.
أنا نفسي الفن يتطور بالبلد. نفسي أشوف مساحات خضراء بالبلد.
نفسي مع الجرادات بالشوارع.
أتمنى إنه المسؤولين يفتحوا لنا مكاتبهم.
نفسي الضرائب يخفوا عنا بالبلد.
نفسي النظام التعليمي بالمدارس وبالجامعات يتغير من جذوره بالبلد.
نفسي كل المواطنين يستخدموا التكنولوجيا بالبلد. نفسي أحس حالي إنه أنا مش مواطن درجة ثانية.
نفسي تكون مدرستي نظيفة.
نفسي أشم هوا نظيف في بلدنا.
نفسي أشوف الناس واقفين على الضرب. أنا نفسي عمالة الأطفال في بلدنا الأردن تنتهي.
نفسي ما يكون في حفر في الشوارع.
نفسي ألغي الهمجية والتعصب في العشائر الأردنية.
نفسي أعيش في مجتمع خالي من التدخين.
أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائل. أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائلة هواية.
أنا متفائل. أنا متفائل. أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائلة.
أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائلة.
أنا متفائل. أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائلة.
أنا متفائل.
أنا متفائلة.
So, Mohammed, maybe you can tell us something about how this movie was made, and especially also considering the work of Tatavor in the Art and Media Ways Out of Poverty project. What did you do on your side, and how did work take place? Did the turmoil in your country disturb the work, or did it even foster the work? Maybe you can say something about the movie and about what Tatavor has made in the project.
Those are 10 questions. Do you want me to answer them?
Just go step by step.
Yeah, I'm joking. Well, actually, in Tatawur, what we're trying to make, we're trying to focus on youth. It's like the normal thing that's happening here. So basically, we're doing a lot of activities that has everything to do with media. And or we're focusing on media especially, and we have a lot of collaboration as you see in the Hibr collaboration with the Hibr collaboration, which is the organization that I belong to, where we train people how to use social media tools and how to make films, how can they document their life, and this film was one of the examples that we've made. We actually crossed several cities in Jordan, not Amman, and we asked people very simple questions. What do you wish? Okay, maybe not a general wish, a very simple wish. Okay, and basically this film, just to give some credits, is based on another film that is produced by Egyptian friends. It's called I Wish for Egypt. So the idea was to spread the film around in the Arabic countries, you know, during the Arab Spring time, hopefully. Again, the idea is to relate the wishes accordingly. Like in Jordan, we want the reform. In Egypt, it's the revolution. In Syria, is the dictatorial, you know, government system. In Palestine, it's the Israeli occupation. In Libya, and so on and so forth. So the idea is to spread the film around. So we started with Egypt, and now Jordan, and then we will continue with the countries that I mentioned. So basically, this is what we're trying to do. I'm not sure if I answered all your questions.
That's just fair enough. I've got one more small question considering this. You said you talked mainly about political change in the Arabic Spring. Now, considering the topic of the project, Ways Out of Poverty, how would that get into combination with political change?
Well, poverty actually is related to the political situation. It's something very normal. I mean, when the country has when they has a peace situation with the political situation, it's normal that the poverty and the level of education will get higher. So whenever you have peace and a settled down situation, you will get away with the poverty problem.
So thanks very much. Now we heard how the project affected the Tatar war in Jordan, but of course we also had an English project partner, Chaos Media, meaning iArts. And before I'm going to talk to Colm, we're going to watch a movie called International Service, which was shot during the Human Rights Awards 2010 by the Chaos Media Group I just mentioned. And they asked the people of York what they thought about human rights. So let's have a look.
When I think of human rights, I think of what the day-to-day things that people really need.
Just when you hear the word right, I think you also think of the word wrong.
How there shouldn't be any prejudice.
The right to an opinion.
To practice my religion peacefully.
The right to be safe.
The right to healthcare, to have good health.
Clean air, water.
Food, clean shelter, clothing, that kind of thing.
I think everyone's meant to have rights.
I think that everybody deserves rights, but not everybody gets them.
I mean, it's one thing we've got to remember, as we're all humans, we have rights on this earth. We're born equally, we're born freely, and that should continue through our whole life.
The way I look at it, we've got a right to have what say in the community, but we don't have a right to say what goes on.
Being poor goes hand in hand with a lack of human rights, really.
You're not given the opportunities when you're living in poverty. You know, the world around you dictates to you, instead of you making your own choices.
As well as having your rights, of course, you've got your responsibilities.
Our freedom to think and speak and do what we want to do, as long as we're not harming other people with it.
Not to be judged according to a stereotype.
The right to see who I like, the right to dress the way I want.
But also the right to thrive and to grow and to study.
There's nothing more powerful in this world than allowing you to be who you are, who you want to be.
The making of the movie, and of course, like I asked all other project partners, how did the project Art and Media, Ways Out of Poverty, affect iArts, and what did you do, which tasks did you allocate, and so on?
Our group, Chaos Media, were approached by International Service, who are a charity based in the city of York, who promote human rights for everybody in the world. And the award ceremony was being held for the first time outside of the capital city, London, and our group were approached to provide some media coverage, and one package that we did was the film that you've just seen, where we went out to the streets of York and we asked members of the public questions about what they knew about human rights. For example, who do you feel has human rights and who hasn't got human rights? What fundamental human rights do you feel that everybody in the world should have? And we took the best responses that we got from the people who we spoke to, and through the questions and through the answers we received, many of the statements that people gave were related to poverty. So we felt that this would be a very appropriate and a very relevant thing to contribute to the Art and Media project.
And did you? What else did you do in those whole 2 years, considering like the project work, considering trainings and so on? Maybe you could tell us something more.
Yes, there were a number of other films that we contributed to the project. One of them came from another media group who are based in York called Inspired Youth, who work with a younger age category than the volunteers who work with Chaos Media. And what they did was a film produced for York's commemoration of Holocaust Memorial Day, which takes place every January. They followed a man who had been homeless, who had been living on the streets, and who had got involved in an art course which he may have been limited to taking part in because of his situation, because he didn't have a home, he didn't have a lot of money. So in his situation, art was the mechanism for him to get out of poverty, and now he's living in accommodation of his own. So that was a real success story that we feel we wanted to highlight and again share with the project, another aspect of people who have employed art to get themselves out of poverty and to relieve themselves.
Thanks. And maybe you could also tell us something about like the exhibition which already took place in your country, because besides making movies for 8 magazines, since it's digital creativity, of course, also pictures were made in exhibitions, touring exhibitions are taking place right now, and one just today in the Banner House. But maybe you could also talk about your exhibition which already took place.
That's right. The exhibition in York took place earlier this month, September 2001, and it coincided with an annual event called the York Peace Festival, which overall celebrates what's like good in the world regarding alleviating human rights. And we received a lot of the films that we've seen today. They were displayed on a TV screen inside a performance area. And while there were other kind of works of art that were going on, for example, musicians, comedians, theatre performers, the films were shown to the people who had come along to the performance area. So they were given a chance to have a look at the films that have been produced for the Art and Media project, and they had a lot of very encouraging and positive things to say about the films that they'd seen.
So you already said something about the reaction. Maybe you could tell us some more about how was the exhibition seen by the audience? What was their opinion?
A lot of people weren't necessarily aware of how poverty affects people in other countries around Europe and the Middle East. A lot of issues relating to poverty that people are made aware of in the UK are just stories that are in the UK, and it would be in particular areas, for example, urban areas, cities. So to be able to explore and to show people that people, even across Europe, people may think that there's no such thing really as people living in poverty, people who are affected by those issues. It was a way to let them say, well, there are people who are affected by poverty. This is their story, take a look at it. And I think they really appreciated being able to find out these stories and to hear that poverty can affect people like normal, everyday people.
So thanks. Now let's stick to the exhibitions because it's an important thing. Maybe Benedict, you could tell me, since today is the exhibition here in the Banner House, what is it compiled of and what belongs to the touring exhibition all in all?
Yeah, the young people did some Photoshop printings, screenshot photos, stories, also the background of the project, and these are printouts which will be hanged out in the exhibition room, and we compile the best, you know, what are the best, but we have to compile a limited number of 9 or 10 films that we can show in the exhibition, the short films, the artwork of the young people, about 50 minutes, 9, 10 different films. And this exhibition, this multimedia exhibition is international, so it goes up to Riga in Latvia, it goes up to Aarhus in Denmark, it goes up to Kristiansand in Norway, in York we heard about, and it goes to Amman in Jordan, it goes to Dobrich, Bulgaria, it goes to Milano, Italy, it goes to Thessaloniki, Greece, and also Rishon LeZion in Israel. So from our network, we have good cooperations in several big cities all over Europe and Middle East from the European Youth for Media Network. And they do this exhibition just as an example that everybody should try to become more creative with digital tools, just express yourself, shape things, don't only be a consumer, jump into art on a low level.
Thanks, Benedict. We heard that in Amman the exhibition will also take place. You already have plans when to do it and how?
We are actually planning, we're still planning, but hopefully it will take place during the last week of October, hopefully, and we're very excited about it, really.
So we're looking forward to that. And Magda, to finish the half circle, an exhibition already took place in Lublin. Maybe you could tell us something about that exhibition.
Exhibition took place in April this year, and it was a collage, a timeline with the buildings, and also, as I said before, there was like a photo reportage about the two people came to Lublin, Xavier from France, and there was a girl from Belarus. So 2 ways, 1 destination. Also, during this exhibition, you could saw the poster made by the youth during the exchange, and this is the official poster for all Ways of the Poverty Art and Media Project exhibition.
So thanks very much. As you see, the exhibition grew from city to city and will still grow. We have a basic set of photos and videos and DVDs for laptop viewing, which you can see right now. Here in the Banner House, but we can also see in the cities in the future. But now let's move on to one of our last movies. We'll stay in Lublin. We're going to watch a movie called Social Institutions in Lublin. And this was also made during a youth exchange between Polish and German youngsters, where the participants entered the city of Lublin to visit and explore social institutions. They found a volunteer center where engaged people invest their free time to take care of people in need. And how this takes place, we'll see right now.
Every day, we cross by 1,000 people. Many of them don't have a place to go. Social institutions are those who care, in case you don't. They exist for everyone, could have a job, family, home and childhood. For a stranger you cross by, could be a little bit happier. Here in Lublin, we are going to the volunteer center in order to see how it works, to see people who give their free time, hearts and lives to others.
Wolontariusze są to ludzie, którzy studiują głównie.
Mostly volunteers are students, pupils or working people, but also qualified specialists.
Volunteer Center in Lublin was created in 1999. The idea of setting such organization in the city belonged to the youth and priests acting together at one of the Catholic institutions. Volunteers joined social work not for material benefits, but for their personal moral satisfaction.
In general, people take part in volunteering for self-satisfaction and feeling that you are able to do something significant.
Ale też myślę, że bo jestem człowiekiem wierzącym, myślę, że
I'm a believer and follow the words of John Paul II, who entrusted his followers with the creation of a world of love and tolerance. And step by step we can continue this way of a creation of this world.
Within 5 years, the center has helped nearly 3,000 people to become volunteers by helping the sick, disabled, handicapped, elderly, lonely, refugees, orphans and neglected children.
You know, the fact that the child who comes to you and say good afternoon is already a result for our job. There are a lot of children who are not taught in families to greet and excuse. And our aim is to teach them these things. We try to do this not by education, but by means of our own personal examples. And sometimes they surprise us saying thank you or sorry for something. And then we can see our influence their behavior. What concerns me, it brings me great happiness when I see these children happy. And I'm sure that with our help, these children will have normal childhood as it should be. Everyone can become a volunteer in spite of his age or education. It doesn't matter whether you are a humanitarian, a pedagogue or an engineer. Desire for doing good is enough. Also, you need some free time and ideas. For instance, the oldest volunteer in our center is 82 years old and he is retired.
The Volunteer Center in Lublin is one of the 1,000 centers all over the world. Social institutions are badly needed today. The number of disabled, homeless and lonely people is increasing every moment. But they need your help and your participation. This is you who can change your place.
Now, before we come to our last video called Ways Out of Poverty and to our final round, I would like to ask Magda maybe to say something to this movie we just saw, Social Institutions in Lublin. When was it made and in what framework?
Well, it's a very well-known institution in Lublin, but it's not the only one. Also, we cooperate with them. They are working on a different fields, also local, but also abroad. I know they are going for Africa to help people, to educate them, to work with youth and with kids. Also, they have special program for people who are coming to Lublin from abroad for studies. It's a lot of students coming to Lublin abroad, and sometimes they have some problems to find themselves in new surroundings. So they have also special project for that. We choose this institution to make a movie about because they are, I think, the best known in Lublin. They have a lot of volunteers. Also, Lublin is a very specific place because we have very much students come in October, just like here in Minster, so they are ready for working also in Nowy Star Foundation with us and with media, but also as a volunteers for social workers. And it was a very nice experience during the exchange, happened in 2010, to know these people, how they work, what their problems are, what is the idea of this organization. And I think we improved the subject. Everybody liked this work. Yeah. So
thanks very much. As we've seen, a lot of nice movies were made during this project. There are lots more, so I would like to encourage you to have a look at the exhibition and at the DVDs, and in the end, look at all the magazines. We have a site on www.youthformedia.eu, a project site to Artemida. Have a look there. Also, in the frame of this project, running parallel, the first International Citizen Media Award 2011 was taken into birth, and the main topic of this award was poverty. So also some movies from that award are going to be in some of the magazines 7 or 8. And if you want to see which movies are nominated and which will win the places 1 to 2 to 3, just watch this evening or stay here and watch the award ceremony of the first International Citizen Media Award. Now we're almost at the end of our broadcast. Now I want to come to our final round. And I want to start with Magda. Maybe you could tell us what was your personal benefit and the benefit for your institution taking part in the project Arts and Media Ways Out of Poverty?
Well, I think the most important for me was to improve the subject and to go into the subject more and to work with young people to show them that they can use media skills to say something important about the subject and they can express themselves through the video, through poster they create or through photos for exhibition they made. So it makes them come together, meet and work together. Also, it was very good to compare our work with different partners from different countries and to create kind of platform where we can exchange our productions and our relation. Hopefully we can work together again in another project. It was very good for me. I learned a lot and hopefully they have the same opinion as I do.
And to come to this side, Colin, what was your personal benefit in this project and maybe the benefit for iArts or Chaos Media?
I would say for me it was having the opportunity to take part in such a prestigious award ceremony, to contribute to that. It was a world-renowned event. To be a part of that happening in the city of York was quite awesome, really. And for a group like Chaos Media, who are mainly run by volunteers, they're the ones who really go out there. They do the filming, they do the reporting, they do the blogging, they do the social media. I just find it a great example of citizen journalism, which has been supported by the people who have given us the support down the years, and through our associations with the other members of the Youth for Media network, through seeing their films and seeing what they've been up to has helped to drive and inspire us to create our films, and we really hope that we get the opportunity to work on a project like this again in the future.
So thanks, Colin. Second but not last, Mohammed, what was your personal benefit and for your organization Tatavor?
Well, to tell you the truth, on the personal level, I just feel I really feel good about it because, I mean, crossing the cultures together is something really great. And, you know, I have this victory moment that I proved that social media is something very important. And you're talking about citizen media as well. See how citizen media, it changed our life a lot. You know, look at us now. We're being live streamed, we're tweeting, we're Facebooking, you know, so everyone can own the news now. There is no control. There is no more control of the mainstream media. I'm not against mainstream media, but I mean, I'm saying that the mainstream media is being controlled by a bunch of editors and, you know, so on and so forth. So today, that being here is something really great because I feel like we're doing a lot of things via media, exhibitions, you know, blogging, a lot of things. So it means a lot to me, really. And I thank you so much thank everyone for giving us the opportunity to be here.
You're welcome. Of course, we thank you. And now finally, Benedict, maybe you could tell shortly two things. First, what was the benefit for the Youth for Media networks and for the AKO? And finally, you can also say something about the music video Ways Out of Poverty, which we're going to see as a credit video. Maybe you could tell us something about that.
Yeah, I think this Art and Media Ways of Poverty was really for me also a very good project. I come together with creative networks from other cultures, cross-culture like you said, and I think it's a good structure. We can continue this because still poverty is there and still art is ongoing, and to this music video, it's like, you know, art is today with digital media, art is an cooperative process. Art is changing with digital media. So, you know, this song, musicians made a song. I made some text, And I sent it to a network, a colleague, to Manchester, to Sheffield. And he makes a film, a video artist. He sent it back to me, and I see, oh, what started with a little song, it's now an audiovisual sculpture anyhow. It's just a cooperative art process with a result, what you will see. And we also jump into it to be a digital artist anyhow.
And before we come to this video, I would also on my behalf say thanks for watching here in the hall and at the live stream for this final event, Art and Media. For me, it was also a pleasure to take part in this project. I would like to thank all project partners who took part, who are on stage here, and also the ones from Norway and Bulgaria. And what's left for me to say before we watch Ways Out of Poverty? We have to continue to strengthen citizen media, and with digital tools we can do this. And stay tuned for the Culture Canal at 20 o'clock. Until then, thank you and bye-bye.
How does it feel to be broke and burned out? Without a home, the fate is sealed, no way out. What does it mean to be hungry and hopeless? Driven away, excluded from school, no resources for cure. You can make it, ways out of poverty. You can shape it, dreams and visions are free. You can make it, ways out of poverty. You can make it, ways out of poverty. Will pictures tell through art and media? Heaven and hell, outline your tales and make it real. Open your mind, let go of appreciation. Feel it and understand, we are all one human soul. You can make it, ways out of poverty. You can shape it, dreams and visions are free. Cultural creation arise like the morning